The thing you're responsible for are some fuel injectors, some tuning, and connection to the exhaust of your choice. So now we know all the parts it takes to make up a complete turbo system. But how do all those parts work together? Well, we're about to show you. A turbocharger is used to force air into an engine for more horsepower. But unlike a supercharger, which is driven by a belt, a turbo uses free energy from the exhaust. Spent gases spin a turbine, which spins a compressor on the other side of the turbo. It sucks in fresh air and forces it into the engine. The turbine and compressor are connected by a single shaft that rides on bushings or bearings. Certain turbo race applications can build upwards of 50 pounds of boost pressure. What would happen if 100% of the exhaust gas that left the engine were allowed to spin the turbocharger? Well, airflow goes up, boost pressure will skyrocket, and you'll probably split the block in half, or at the very least, throw a couple rods out the side. And I don't know about you, but for me, that's a pretty bad day. So to prevent this from happening and control boost level, turbo kits include a wastegate. It's basically a valve that will allow a certain amount of gas to bypass the turbocharger to regulate the boost pressure. Let's say, for example, the boost pressure is too high. Well, in that scenario, the wastegate will open up and the exhaust gas is allowed to exit to the atmosphere rather than spinning the turbo. So the turbo slows down and boost pressure comes down as well. Now, on the other hand, if your boost pressure is too low, the wastegate will remain shut and force all of the exhaust gas up into the turbocharger. Boost pressure will come up as the turbo spins faster. Now, as you're driving around, the wastegate will be constantly opening and shutting to maintain that perfect threshold of boost level. It's set by the type of springs that are inside, but basically that's how they work. Now, as you can see, wastegates are pretty darn important. Now, anybody who's seen a car movie has probably heard the one sound that's most commonly associated with a turbo system, and that is the blow-off valve. But what exactly does a blow-off valve do? Well, picture this. As you go into a wide-open throttle run, there's a ton of air that's being pumped into the engine. But at the end of that run, the throttle plates close suddenly and that air has nowhere to go. So a blow-off valve is installed in the charge pipe to relieve all that extra pressure when you rapidly decelerate. And when we come back, we're going to get Project White Noise torn down, ready for its turbo.
Next, Project White Noise is about to get louder.
Our turbo installation begins with first disassembling the exhaust system, starting with our modified trans crossmember, followed by the stock exhaust. This will also get replaced. We remove the entire thing from front to rear.
Up in the engine compartment, we'll remove small parts like the engine cover, intake tube, factory air filter housing, all to get to the passenger side exhaust manifold. The plug wires and dipstick are removed, and ours was so rusted in, we had to cut it off. With all the bolts removed, the manifold comes out and can